It's very hard to lie in a consistent manner. That's why the truth seeps out in little turns of phrases, little slips in the narration, which if you're not paying careful attention to, go unnoticed. Liars almost always phrase what they did do in the negative. Let's see if you can spot the slips and admissions to find the truth.
When did you get home? Right when you called, or did you go to the house first? Where is the house?
I came to the house first.
Okay.
I left. I don't know what time. I can go back on my phone and.
How did you pull up? You from back there?
I went to the house and they weren't home, which was odd. I tried to call.
Okay.
And then I knew they had been down here before I left to go to my mom's.
Okay.
And so then I knew they had been down here before I left to go to my mom's.
Okay.
And so
Maggie's a dog lover, and she fools with the dogs. And I knew she'd gone to the kennel. I was at the house. I left the house and went to my mom's. When I got back to the house was obviously nobody was in there. So I figured they're still up here fooling around. Paul. At some point, we were all back at the house together. Maggie had gotten home, and we sat down, we ate supper, in which we usually eat supper together. But we hung around the house for a little while. I know that Maggie went to the kennels. I don't know exactly where Paul went, but he left the house too.
Okay, so they left and went down to the kennels.
Well, Maggie went to go to the kennels.
Okay, Paul left.
And I'm assuming, Paul left.
Okay.
Because of,
Gotcha.
what happened. I mean, I'm assuming Paul went to the kennels.
Okay.
Not for the words I believe or I would have. People are recalling actual events. Don't believe something they know. Or don't say I would have done something.
When you and Paul got back to the house, Miss Maggie's there, and y'all eat supper, which has been prepared. And you said you laid down and took a little nap, and when you got up, Maggie and Paul was gone. Or did they leave when you laid down, or before you laid down?
I believe that. I'm not sure.
And so the three of us ate dinner together. I stayed on the couch and I dozed off. So, and then I got up.
Did you watch TV that night?
I know the TV was, I believe the TV was on.
And after dinner, Maggie and Paul went to the kennels, or?
I don't know exactly how that went.
Okay. When was the last time you were here with them? Or talked to them or anything like that?
It was earlier tonight. I don't know the exact time, but
Okay.
I left. I was probably gone an hour and a half from my mom's, and I saw them about 45 minutes before that.
Okay.
I rode around with Paul for 2 hours this afternoon in the pickup truck.
That's your son, Paul?
How long would you say you were at your mom's that night?
45 minutes, an hour.
I think one of the first things I did when I got up was call Maggie because I was going to my mom's. And I know I texted her because I checked my phone. And what time did we say the text was, Jim? Like 9:06?
I didn't see it.
Yeah, I got it written down from the other night.
I showed you the other night, didn't I?
Yes, sir. I got this.
So, I texted her. So I called her just before that. And, I mean, she didn't answer at that point. And I left to go to my mom's.
Okay.
It wasn't much time between me waking up and me leaving the house.
Okay.
And when I went outside, there's a wild cat that lives around that house.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was the cat that ran from my car, but I never had the impression it was a person, but there was something.
Okay.
I was certain that I heard them pull up. I mean, I was positive that I heard, and people don't just come out there. You know, we don't get like passed through. I was certain that I heard them pull up, but they didn't.
Okay.
So, and just trying to narrow that, the last time that you saw Paul and Maggie's when y'all were eating supper?
Yes, sir.
Up until you came back from your mom's and found what you found.
I've got information that Paul was on the phone and Maggie was heard in the background and you were heard in the background. And that was prior to 9 p.m.
I heard Rogan Gibson ask me if I was up there. He said he thought it was me.
Was it you?
At 9 o'clock?
Yes, sir.
No, sir. Not if my times are right.
Who do you think it could have been?
I have no idea.
I see quite a few tire tracks in here. Were any of these you going in and out?
No, I came in here and I left one time and I came back.
Okay.
But the rest of them, maybe
Okay.
from earlier, but
Okay.
only 2 are mine.
Did you go out this way at all?
No.
Start at the top, take your time.
Like when I came back here, I mean, I pulled up and I could see them, and you know, I knew something was bad. I ran out. I knew it was really bad. I went back home. I got to the house. I went inside. Nobody was there. I got in the car. I went back to the kennels, and you know, got in the car. I went back to the kennels, and you know. And I ran over to Maggie, and actually, I think I tried to turn Paul over first. You know, I tried to turn him over, and I don't know, I figured it out. His cell phone popped out of his pocket. I started to try to do something with it, thinking maybe, but then I put it back down really quickly.
When you tried to turn Paul over, do you know if you tried to turn him like towards the kennels or away from the kennels and his phone fell out?
Away. I think I turned him away.
Okay. Was he left-handed or right-handed?
He was right-handed.
So we have his phone. Do you know his passcode?
I don't. And I'm going to tell you this right now. There's a few people I can point you to,
Yeah.
but I can tell you that he was super, super, super secretive with that. I mean,
Where did he normally keep his phone?
I mean, usually in his hand.
Most
But,
young folks
I mean,
do,
it was, you know, it was always on him. Pocket, hand, truck.
when Paul's phone came out,
Such a missed opportunity, not letting him answer the question, but answering it for him.
did you just pick it up and put it on, you know, place it back down on him, or?
You know, yeah, I did not try to open it or anything. You know, I don't know how I had in my mind that I needed to not mess anything up. I had that, you know, somehow I had that presence of mind that I needed to not mess anything up. And so I tried not to.
When you turned Paul over and his cell phone popped out and you picked it up and your statement was something like, I thought about doing something, but then I put it back down. And that was the interview, our first interview. What were your intentions with the phone?
I don't know. I mean, when I went up to him and phone came out, I don't remember having intentions of doing anything with the phone.
This is the third missed opportunity. The question should not have been what was your intention. It should have been what did you do with the phone. Intention can be inferred later.
Then I went to my wife, and I could see.
What made you come out here at night?
I came back up here, and I drove up and saw. I drove to my mom's. I checked on my mom.
She lives right out here, correct?
She lives at Alameda.
Okay.
Checked on my mom. Talked with Shelly for a few minutes. No, I saw Maggie and I saw Paul laying down. I knew, I didn't know, I knew it was bad. I went over there and, I saw it.
Yeah. And what time did Maggie get back home Monday night?
It was after Paul and I had gone. She was not there when Paul and I left to go mess around.
Okay.
So, it was sometime after that. So there was a point when, she got back, we got back.
When y'all got back from riding around and messing around on the farm, was she home or?
Yes.
Okay.
That afternoon or during the time you and Paul were riding.
Yes, sir.
Did y'all go up to around the kennels or anything? Did y'all do anything up toward the kennels?
I'm sure we did. That's our main shop is, right there. But, we're normally in there for long times tinkering. And I will say that particular day, we did not tinker around there a bunch,
So when you were at the kennels, you were just down there with Paul. You left and went back to the house for dinner.
Paul and I were just knocking around up at the shop, the shed, the kennels, and just the whole property. And that was before dinner yesterday.
When you and Paul returned back to the house, was Maggie there?
I can't remember if Maggie came by the shed when Paul and I were up there, or if we met her at the house. But, it's not unusual for her, if we're messing around, for her to swing through up there.
Mm-hmm. When earlier in the day, when you were down at that shed in the kennels with Paul, did y'all discuss any injuries to any dogs?
Did he and I? No, but Rogan Gibson told me about the dog's tail, and somebody saying his leg was broken.
But he would do anything. Paul had this, like a little light that I used that night. There are some more guns that aren't in that gun room, I don't know how many, but.
Keep any guns out at the kennels?
We didn't keep guns out there, but there were always guns out there.
Okay.
It was not unusual for there to be guns out there. That 300 blackout, it was not out there. I know we replaced it, but I know we replaced it because I wouldn't replace it again. Nobody was in that house when I left.
There is a video on Paul's phone of you and him on the farm that night, and you were in khaki pants and a dress shirt. You were playing with a tree.
I don't remember playing with a tree.
Yeah, I guess there was a tree sapling or something that had fallen over or bending over, and you were trying to get it to stand up. But the question in that is, when I met you that night, you were in shorts and a t-shirt. At what point in that evening did you change clothes?
I'm not sure. It would have been,
Before dinner or after dinner?
no, it would have been, what time of day was that? I would have thought I'd already changed.
There's not a time. It would have been 7:30, 8 o'clock.
I guess I changed when I got back to the house.
And you didn't go back down there after dinner until you returned trip from visiting your mother.
Yes, sir.
The shot shells that we recovered that night, one was a turkey load, one was buckshot.
I understood that.
The shotgun that you had with you that night, there was a bird shot and a buckshot. When Jeff went back the next day, I'm not sure which attorney it was, pointed out that there had been a shotgun laying on the pool table that he had put away, and pointed out that ammunition that was with that, and it was a buckshot and a bird shot. And then the shotgun that we took for potential comparison, it was also loaded with a bird shot and a buckshot. So I have all of these consistent loads along with what's that in the feed room. I call it the feed room at the kennels. Is that what you call it?
That's
Okay.
good enough.
Okay. I just want, if I say feed room, I just want you to know what I'm talking about.
The night I grabbed the shells that I could get my hands on, I don't, I had no idea exactly what I had.
Okay. So, which gets another concern. I've got the same load as the shot shells in multiple guns and 300 blackout that match one's found on your property.
So you now believe that those guns, that Paul's guns were used?
Yes.
Okay.
It was just so bad. They did it so bad.